Good morning, daydreamers. I forgot I was supposed to be doing this. How are you guys doing? I went and got all ready to start working, and then I was like, oh, video. Oh, I'm too lazy to change. So y'all get to see me like this. Enjoy. Hello. Good morning. How are you feeling? There's been a big earthquake that hit, and possible tsunami is going in all sorts of directions. I hope that a lot of the anxiety that many like myself are feeling will kind of pass now, but it's not. It's not. If anything, I'm ratcheted up a bit more, which I always feel a lot of anxiety right before major earthquakes hit around the world for some reason. But then it kind of dissipates. It's not dissipating, so I don't know what to think about that. I always get a whole lot of anxiety before tsunamis hit, and not happy about that. And then last night's dreams where I don't even know how to, I don't know how to describe them. I mean, I do know how to describe them, but I don't know what I was dreaming. Black smoke everywhere, horrible choking black smoke. I mean black, not ooh, it's kind of cloudy, or ooh, I could sort of see through it. No, black smoke, rolling black smoke that was sticky, like a resin sort of sticky, but it also hurt. I don't know, it was so weird. And it smelled, I can't even describe how it smelled. I've never smelled whatever it was it smelled like in my dream. So something, there was a taste to it. I don't know. It was strange. And every time I went to sleep, I just kept dreaming it. And it freaked me out really badly. Really, really badly. I don't want to dream that again. And I hope it was just some weird dream. But it was not a fun dream. It was a terrifying dream. Everybody was, there was just that kind of level of horror that you cannot put a word to, you cannot name. It was a dream. So I am all for having a good day today and getting some art done and whatnot. Oh, that was an intense beginning to this, but this is me, so I'm just trying to just talk and be normal. I mean, at least I'm normal. I've created like all these questions or talking points to go over, since this is a daily thing, and I need to actually make specific days for your funny today, or you're doing dream introspection today, or this, instead of randomly doing it, because the one that I drew randomly so I wouldn't know what I was going to talk about is intense, and I don't want to do intense today. But my whole deal with myself was, no, Angelique, if you draw the question, you have to talk about and answer the question. You cannot skip because it makes you uncomfortable. So today's question, I'm paraphrasing, is what part of society and the world do you have to ignore to be able to navigate it, to keep existing? What aspect of society just is so freaking messed up that you have to go, oof? And I would say probably the same thing that a lot of people that, you know, have half a brain and are observant are having to do, and that is society itself, our nature, our, what we seem to default to. And it is on display in ways that, you know, we can't really escape. And I don't want to escape it. I want it to freaking change, but It doesn't seem like it's going to. It does not seem like it's going to. It does not seem like a lot of people want it to. And that's what's strange. And I'm not talking about social media. Yes, I know the algorithm feeds and all that. No, I'm talking about people, like people you see and talk to. I don't enjoy what I'm seeing. And I don't know how to continue to feel empathy for some people or compassion for certain people whose desires are so ugly, ugly, ruthless. That bothers me. I watching my country enthusiastically embrace what is happening. Not everybody. There's many people who are not like myself, but watching so many who are enthusiastically embracing this is mind blowing. Watching world leaders all around the world for this long now allow what's happening in Gaza, allow what's happening in Ukraine, allow what's happening in Sudan. There's so many places. And they'll spend hours upon hours upon hours upon hours discussing it and making statements, and but it's show. It's so much of it is just show. To see how much nobody really cares. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to put out of my mind to keep going, is the very fact that I do not believe, through my observation, that and my experiences in life, I do not believe that the majority of humans would put themselves at risk, and not even at physical risk, just at risk of maybe being a little unpopular, um, to do the right thing, to help someone out that needs it. I don't think most people will sacrifice anything, and I mean sacrifice, and I don't even mean sacrifice in a big way. I mean, ooh, you're not going to get your Starbucks today because you went and bought a lunch for a homeless person kind of sacrifice. That's a small sacrifice. That is such a teeny tiny sacrifice, especially if you're not hungry. Oh my gosh, that isn't to me, that's not even sacrifice, but most people consider it a sacrifice, and most people won't do it. Most people would not do it, and that bothers me. That bothers me. It bothers me that we're okay paying for some asshole president to fluff about all of his golf and his nonsense, and we're paying millions upon millions upon millions of dollars for that. But we can't help starving children, but we can't help the homeless, but we can't make sure people get medical care. I believe in helping others and doing what you can to lift up others, and showing compassion, and being understanding and seeing from different perspectives so that you can learn and grow and grow and lift up together. But on the other end of the coin, or whatever, however somebody wants to phrase that, I also think that there comes a point in time where you have to say, ah, okay. And you have to acknowledge that, you know, there are persons and people that don't care. They're not going to change how they feel. They're not going to not be selfish, unless it affects them. And just because you might want peace and you might want to not cause harm or anything, it doesn't mean that anybody's going to listen or even respond to that. I mean, you roll up in the right place with that kind of attitude, that just says victim. Um, and you have to be comfortable with knowing, okay, I may be a victim, but at least I'm doing what I believe in. But still, that we're rolling along and allowing all of this to occur, that we have been trained to follow to such an extent that we're going, well, it'll change. My life hasn't changed that much, or whatever the hell it is we're doing. That grates on me. I find certain things completely unacceptable. Billionaires, I'm looking at you. Volunteer the fuck to not be a billionaire. Don't go putting your money in these special kind of charity savings accounts that don't get taxed, but you also don't have to spend it so that you keep your money. Do something. Do something. That we're allowing it bothers me. It bothers me. I think there comes a point where you just don't allow something. And I think there comes a point where if there's just a couple of people who are completely, or it's not a couple, is it? It's multiple handfuls, but they're very specific points in the chain that if you got rid of that point in the chain, everything would improve vastly. They're roadblocks, an obstructionist towards improvement. And I don't know. I I don't understand why we allow it to go on and continue like that when it makes so many lives horrible. I don't understand why people have to be the way they are. And I have to ignore that because if I don't, I will just curl up in a corner in a, and retreat. Probably. I don't know. No, I can't do that really, but I want to do that. Um, Humans make me sad. Humans make me very, very sad. And I think I have to ignore the instinctive qualities of our nature. I have to ignore just how cruel we actually are to continue forward because we are a selfish, selfish society. And not everybody, but most. And I'm not able to pretend otherwise like so many are. And I'm not able to go, well, you'll get what you give. That's not really necessarily true. And that's just an excuse people make, kind of like karma. If that was what it actually is, then Netanyahu and Trump would be the ones that are, starving and being bullied and being beat up, not innocent children. You don't get back what you put out. Innocent children are not putting out anything to deserve what's happening. So that's what I have to ignore. Yay, wasn't that a happy, joyful good morning? I swear some of these are not going to be so deep and intense, but I think, that's where my mind's at a lot these days too, because you have to watch it and see what's going on because the world is changing sharply and drastically. And it's pretty terrifying, the direction that it's heading in. And what history shows occurs when these sorts of things happen. I wish people would pull their heads out of their asses and wake up. I do. But I don't think that's going to happen because we like to live in denial and we don't like change. So as long as they're able to go, to all their different social events and buy what they want to buy and do what they want to do, nothing's going to change until it hits them. And then they're going to go ballistic. So, yeah, I don't know. That is a joyful way to start the day. Have an amazing day. May your muse shine brightly.